When you first started in this, were you afraid that this was going to change you in a way that maybe you would regret? I've had friends go into, young guys going to firefighting and police work, and I knew that they were going to be exposed to things, and they had such a sweet nature that you knew that it was going to just maybe
sour on my life a little bit.
Yes, exactly.
I had no expectations whatsoever because I had never experienced anything like what I've experienced as a police chaplain. And when you see stuff that Hollywood can't even dream up, when you deal with people who are sitting in front of you with a gun to their head wanting to take their own life, and your job is to stop them from doing it. When you're looking at the wrong end of a gun, somebody who wants to commit suicide by cop, there's no way to prepare for any of that. And I don't think it makes you, it jades you or anything. I think it just shows you that there's a lot of hurt out in the world, a lot of hurt that needs to be dealt with. And there are a lot of people who are perfectly happy people most of the time, and then one incident happens in their life or a series of things, and it just pushes them into a whole different place. And we've got to be prepared in our communities to deal with that, to be able to get a chaplain there or get a mental health worker there or somebody to help those people, to keep them from doing something that they can't take back.
We should talk briefly about the importance of training, because having interviewed probably, I don't know, over 100 chaplains over the years, at some point I kind of got the feeling, I can do this. This is the, I think I get what this is all about. And then I was confronted with someone who really needed help, and all I could think of was, get me out of this. This is serious. This is really, it's just time to stop pretending that you're something that you're not, that you can help them. And
I think you have to know your limitations. And there are times when I was dealing with people that I told them, honestly, this is way out of my ballpark. I said, but I do know somebody who can help you. And those are the connections again. That's part of your training, is to have those connections. I could take them to mental health, or I could take them to the housing authority and try to get things worked out with them on their rent or whatever was causing them to stress out so badly. Or I could get them marital counseling. I could get them to those right things. But I think that's part of it too, is that you're honest with these folks and say, listen, right now I can't help you, but I can take you to somebody who can. So put down the gun, open up the house, come on out here and sit on the porch with me. We'll talk for a minute, and then I'll take you to wherever you need to go to get the help that you need. And I promise you it will be good help, not, just throw them to the wolves when they come out the door, but, walk them there. Walk them in the door, introduce them to the psychiatrist or the psychologist or whoever, the social worker, and make them know that you care enough about them that you would take them by the hand to the door, and
the thing that has impressed me about chaplains over the years is that they just, after a while, they've done so many things that would be the first thing that, if I want to impress somebody, oh yeah, I talked somebody off of a water tower once, and that would be my story I would tell everybody. And I was talking to a chaplain, and we were talking about it, and he goes, oh yeah, I talked somebody off of a water tower one time. I mean, he couldn't even remember. There had been so many things like that.
That's true.
That he could not. I went, you gotta be kidding me. I've known you for years, and you've never told me that you talked a guy off of a water tower before? He goes, oh, Phil, there's so many different things I haven't told you. Talk about that. It's just...
I guess it's just so much a part of what you do. I can remember getting called out one time, and I got to the house, and this guy has got a rifle, and he's trying to commit suicide by cop. And I walked around the corner, and he pointed the gun at me, and we started talking. And it was his wife left him, she took the kids, and he was distraught, and he didn't see any other way of making this work. Of course, that was the day I forgot to wear my body armor when I got called out and got in a little trouble for that. But we talked, and I said, listen, what you're doing here is a permanent solution to a temporary issue. So let's just talk. And you know, and he had a .22 rifle, but when you're looking at the barrel, I mean, it's about this big around, you know. And we talked, and he finally handed me the gun, and we sat down on the back porch and talked it out, and everybody went home, and the chief and the lieutenant were were right there, and they said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Well, he's fine, I think," and took him up to the counseling clinic, and it's just part of it, you know.
To go to a place where you just sort of say, "This is one of those situations where how did you?" God's will? I mean,
well, I mean, some of that's true, but I think it's God's intervention all the time. But you know, this guy, he just needed somebody to talk to, and it wouldn't have escalated to that, I don't think.
Let me ask you this: were you nervous
at first? But once we got talking, I knew he wasn't going to shoot me.
Okay.
Because he was just sad, and he was just missing his kids, and he didn't know what to do. And I got it. I understood what he was talking about. And we just talked about those things and how we could fix that and make it better. Sure, I mean, anytime the gun's pointed at me, I'm a little nervous. But that was just, he's just a sad person who needed somebody to care about him. And 9 times out of 10, that's what it is. They're just sad about something, and they just need somebody to listen to whatever it is that's going on in their life. So.